This is the last bastion, the last frontier of the civil rights movement. The idea, and we just got back from Sacramento, the idea that you need a 2/3 vote to pass a budget and raise taxes at a time when the state of California is on meltdown, but with a bare majority, you could deny a whole community the fundamental right to liberty and happiness, the fundamental right to marry, something so basic to our society, to have a family, to enjoy the fruits of that family. And so we're here today as well to commit ourselves, to say that we're going to do everything we can to put this issue back on the ballot, to have a conversation in neighborhoods from San Francisco to Los Angeles, from Fresno to San Diego, in every corner of this state. We're here today to say that in California, the Golden State, this is a state that's always been about the better angels, a state that's always been about the idea that the Constitution is supposed to expand rights, not limit them, not deny a whole group of people those basic rights. We're also here because, as Abby Land said so very well, this state is making devastating cuts. When I was Speaker of the Assembly, we expanded the ADAP program, funding for AIDS, on a scale that we had never done before. And we have committed throughout the years, even in the most tough budget times, to protect that funding, because we know that the lives of people depend on that funding. And so we're here today to say no to those cuts. We've got to do what we can to resolve this budget crisis, but we can't do it on the backs of those who are dying. We can't do it on the backs of children. We can't do it on the backs of cities. And so I'm here to join all of my friends. I'd like to welcome a great friend from the city of San Francisco, the mayor of San Francisco, a man who stood literally and figuratively tall on this issue. Tall on this issue. And while he's not wearing a pink shirt like me, he still looks good. Help me welcoming the great mayor from the city of San Francisco, Gavin Newsom.
Antonio does look good in pink, so it's an honor to be down here with a lot of friends, and I'm very already I am impressed with the enthusiasm and energy as I look now to enjoy my first LA Pride Parade. So this is new to me, but certainly the issues that define the day and the issues that bring us all together are not new. You know, you think about this, all over the world, nations and people are being literally torn apart because of religious and ethnic controversies that have fueled fanaticism and fueled terror. But here we are in West Hollywood, Mayor, with you and Mayor Villaraigosa in LA County, in the most diverse county, in the most diverse state, in the world's most diverse democracy. And I believe that the world looks to us to see that it's possible to live together and advance together and prosper together across every conceivable difference. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're celebrating here at LA Pride, is diversity. We're not tolerating it, we're celebrating. We're stepping up and standing in and making a statement to the world that this is what it's all about. And so I am very thankful to all of you for being part of this remarkable effort, and I'm very thankful to those that couldn't be here, the people that stood strong and stood tall some 40 years ago in 1969 in Stonewall, June 28th, there on Christopher Street, that had the courage of their convictions and said, you know what, we're no longer going to sit here in the shadows, we're no longer going to sit here and take it. And they stepped up and they said, you know what, we count, we matter. And that's when history was changed. It wasn't just changed with Proposition 8. It was changed decades ago when people stood up and fought for principles. There are good days and there are bad days. But we have made an enormous amount of progress in the last 40 years. But the march of equality clearly is a long march. And so I look forward to marching with you, all of you. And I look forward to the day when we right the wrong of Proposition 8. Last word. Mayor Villaraigosa was right. It was a remarkable thing. We have a constitution in this country that's only been amended once to strip people's rights away, and that was prohibition. California became the first state in U.S. history to use its constitution to take people's rights away, and to use the Constitution to do so. Every single time, as the mayor said, the Constitution has been amended to expand people's rights, not to deny people's rights. That's not the spirit of a state that I like to call a state of dreamers and doers, a state that's always tried to be on the leading and cutting edge. So this is a wrong that we absolutely will right, and I look forward to writing it with you.
Gavin, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, question number one. As you know, Barack Obama's Justice Department filed a motion in support of DOMA, and I want to know what your comment is on that filing. Question number two, are both of your cities going to sign on to the Ted Olson, David Boies federal lawsuit to overturn Prop 8? Two questions.
Those are both good questions.
Thank you. And
but I'm not going to walk down the path of controversy by suggesting that President Obama is not going to step up and do what he said he was going to do in the campaign. I have confidence he'll get there. I think it's a question of timing. I was concerned, obviously, about the DOMA filing. There were a lot of commitments made on DOMA, don't ask, don't tell, and hate crimes. We need to make sure that those are advanced. But again, we're just 5.5, 6 months into an administration, and so there's time. But obviously, that filing is of some concern. And so we will obviously make that point in an appropriate manner. But I still believe that this president will be I think, biggest champion and friend of the LGBTQ community that we've ever had. I'm confident of that at the end of the day. But right now, we obviously look forward to seeing some more example of that in the months and years ahead.
And are you going to sign on to the filing to the federal lawsuit?
I'm actually, I want to learn more about it, and I say it in this context. I want to make sure Teresa Stewart's one of our heroes up north. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. And so we haven't gotten down to the details of it. They haven't even organized the details of that federal lawsuit, but I want to look at the details before we decide what we're going to do.
I frankly, well, I'm not a lawyer, but I can tell you that I don't understand the legal reasoning in the federal brief that you referred to. I'm concerned about the implications of some of the arguments that are being made by the Justice Department. I can tell you that I do believe that President Obama is a man of his word, one who understands that this issue of civil rights is an issue that can't be limited to just some of us. It has to be a value that we support and fight for all of us. And the issue of marriage equality and hate crimes and discrimination are issues that transcend any one group and that really speak to our values as Americans. On the issue of supporting Ted Olson's lawsuit, as you know, there is some concern at this point to file a brief at the federal level where we still don't have enough momentum, enough states who have adopted marriage equality statutes. I too am looking to the legal community, the progressive legal community who will be fighting this issue to determine whether we weigh in or not. I certainly understand why he would want to. It would just be a question of tactics, not ultimately whether or not we agree that we need to change the federal law of the land.